fasten as you go inside. This is a historic structure. It's about 104 years old. It was built in 1912. So I'm going to catch this right here. Just come on in, and we'll talk a little more when we get inside.
I ain't trying to run.
Fourth on one side, fifth through eighth on the other side. But the school was used all the way until 1972. So from 1912 to 72. So a lot of kids went through this schoolhouse. And as you're looking at the desk on this side, we have it set up to be, again, the 1915 time period. And I've overheard some folks talking about, as you see the desk set up, there's no front desk for the seat on the front, but there's no bench for the desk in the back. And it's just the way these desks are arranged, but they kind of work out well, because if you need extra room, you can bring a table up, or you can add a bench. But it worked really well for the kids who got in trouble. So you could sit there in front of the seat, you had nothing to do with your hands, and you had open view from the teacher, so he could watch you and make sure you weren't messing with somebody or doing something wrong. One of the other punishments that some of the children actually had to do here was read the dictionary. You had to figure it out, you had to figure it out on your own, and then you use the dictionary or look for something else along the way. Wow. Pen and ink, you had to dip the pen into the ink well. And I don't think can remember writing a term paper. Could you imagine writing it with this? Having to dip the pen in the ink, write out 2 or 3 words, and then back and forth. And then making a mistake, crumpling the paper up and trying again. So you wanted to make sure you had very good penmanship, and you can learn and let people know what you were trying to convey. It wasn't as easy as typing as it is nowadays. Any questions on anything in the school? You have a question in the back? Okay, nope.
That's a selfie.
That's a photo ball. I'm sorry.
I have one question. Learned that the children from this period had tests that people in college today couldn't pass.
Probably so.
Yes.
Wow.
It was, when you left here with an 8th grade education, you were probably much equivalent to a lot of the high school and everything. And because a lot of kids didn't get a chance to go to high school because we're isolated, and Delano is where you would go, and a lot of times you sent your child to live with maybe family members or friends so they could attend a high school and then come home on weekends or on breaks and vacations during the year to work in the family business or for whatever thing. So it was a lot different than it is nowadays. The schools are popping up everywhere.
Somebody else.
The colonel had 2 daughters and a wife, and his wife lived here periodically. The daughters did not go to we have I don't know. I've actually animal code.
Yeah, that's an outhouse.
Told you. Told you.
2 points for base. offered him away, and
Like I said, it's a small house, so all of us in there at one time is going to be a little crowded. There are a number of rooms, so please wander through and look at the artifacts. Please do not touch anything. Some of the artifacts in here did actually belong to the colonel, but not the furniture as far as I know. But it does give you an idea of a small house. 2 people who lived here, but not all the time. They kept their home in Los Angeles. So this was actually a second home for the colonel and his wife. They had 2 daughters who were both grown by the time this community was established. So the daughters might have visited, but they did not live here. Their photographs are on the piano, and there is also a photograph of one of the daughters, Nella, and her husband, Lewis, and their son, Allensworth, on a table. Oops, sorry, right over here in the back corner of the room. So again, wander around, and then if you have questions, I'll be happy to help you out, or we could talk again once we get out of the building where it's a little easier to move around in. Okay?
They have pianos working in the house.
Mrs. Allensworth was quite the accomplished pianist. To all the forts that he traveled at when she followed with him during their younger years during the Army, she was probably, he was the spiritual or moral guidance leader, and she was the one who played the piano during their services, maybe taught the other women of the community how to play.
Books, look at all them books.
Even 90. No, that.
I just started this. I was like,
But look at this, so there, look. It's 2 different flags
retreat to Arizona. So you know what I'm saying?
with the aunt in the middle.
That's what it's more like to me.
You see that?
That's an aunt, man.
What is that?
That's an aunt. That's not an aunt.
stick out the bottom and it's an
Anchor and
eye.
arc.
That's not an aunt.
Where's that at?
Not in the middle.
Oh,
Gotcha. Oh, that's the colonel?
She said he's in neither one of these pictures.
Oh,
It ain't nothing
probably-
melanin in there
It
though.
was just probably his.
That's all melanin right
It
there,
was
right
probably
here
his
too.
homies. You know what I'm saying? When he got up, probably his homies sent him a picture or something like that.
But look at this.
Buddha to you saying this.
But he was in the Philippines during the Philippine insurrection. So the bowl and the Buddha are possibly 2 things. He could have bought them himself as souvenirs, like a lot of people do when they travel. Or the other story I heard was that they were gifts from the regiment, the men that were there, that were serving with him. So there's 2 possibilities, but as far as I know, what I've been told, those did belong to the colonel and were donated back to us by the family.
Wasn't the colonel the highest ranking colonel at that time, or the highest ranking
When he-
African American?
When he retired in 1906, he was the highest ranking black man and the highest ranking chaplain at that time.
In the world?
Well, in the United States,
Oh, in the United
at that time,
United States is #1 in the world.
yeah.
Excellent. That's an excellent demonstration.
yeah, well, that's after they did the fake Havana thing. You know,
Oh, you know.
Houses, so you ordered them and they came in large crates and full buildings, and they just put them together and bolted them together. So you probably didn't need a whole lot of master skill on that. And the other houses that, like the 2 that were built completely from scratch, Mr. Stockett probably had a very big hand in that. Mr. Hackett was actually, he was kind of the lumberman of the company, like your Ace Hardware man. He ran a drayage business up in Alameda, so he was good at hauling freight and doing things like that. So they probably had a hand in helping people build their homes. Now, everybody who lived here was kind of middle class, because you had to have money to own the land, get your thing. So maybe they even had maybe somebody even hired a carpenter to help build the home. But that was one of the things that, again, when they were doing oral histories, they never so they did that thing now. No. They're just different enough, the houses are just different enough that it wasn't The same, but they called it the Star of Creation. Okay, or the Creator Star.
As above, so below.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Wait, say that one more time for us. Start from the top for me.
Forgot what I said.
But it wasn't.
Oh, the Star of David. Everybody's looking at the window and it looks like a Star of David, which it is, but it's not in this case. It is called the Star of Creation or the Creator Star. And so when we get inside, you'll actually see the colors of the window, and it won't be as visible as it is outside for whatever reasons.
Y'all gotta look at that science on that window. Y'all need to stop playing. Y'all need to.
That's the genie's lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, the genie's lamp.
Right.
This is the Bible.
Like, y'all didn't see that from way back there? You just seen that star?
Yeah, the lamp.
Man, what's in the middle though? What is in the middle? We see the star, but what's that in the middle?
Holy Grail.
But hold on. See, don't miss the circle.
Drink from that.
Don't miss the
Right,
circle.
right,
Yeah,
right,
we talked
right.
about this in the car. Don't miss the circle.
Don't miss the circle. There
Don't
you
miss
go.
the
Yes,
circle.
sir. And it's the étoile. It's not the Star of David.
It's fun.
The étoile is our star. And you can see it in the movie
get this
Gangs
work.
of New York. When the
That was a
butcher,
good movie.
in his office, he had it right on the wall right there.
And don't forget that to the top.
Yep, at the top there. Yep.
That at the top.
You gonna get this work.
Genius work on the top there.
Capstone.
Yeah. From inside it looks better than. Yeah, from inside it looks clear.
This is incredible.
Circle represents the 360 now, and conversation itself represents the turn. This is the master seal. Now it has the cosmological book of the ethers on it, and then it has the genie's lamp dealing with invocation, the master and the application of the higher and the lower self. Okay, so and the Holy Grail, you know, is dealing with that's dealing with the true bloodline. Yes, sir. You see what I'm saying? The true bloodline. So now we're going back into the what we was talking about last night. We was talking about I couldn't remember last night when we was talking about the Order of St. John.
And the color.
Jesuits go back to root. No. What we talking about last night? Remember the group that was pushed out? Like their name is escaping me. Remember the group was pushed out? The Knights Templar.
Oh, Knights Templar. Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
So the Knights Templar. I forgot what I was talking about. Okay. The Holy Grail, the bloodline.
Right.
Remember that the Knights Templars were also protectors of the bloodline.
Right. And they were
Okay. And
money boys.
and when you go into the first people, the Knights Templar came here and they went to Canaan land, or we now call Canaan. And they were pushed out, and they ran over here. And I forgot the brother's name, but in the 1040, he comes to Canaan, Canada. And then he eventually goes to Jerusalem,